Hello guys, today is January 14, Friday. So the Hindu editorial we'll discuss. Already one more episode I had put today, that is January 13th, because yesterday I couldn't put the episode. And today it's the festival day, and here also a lot of background noise might be there because fireworks are going on and things are happening. So tell me in comment section which state you are from and in this which festival you are celebrating, or maybe it's part of your culture. You can tell us in comment section, okay? Because sometimes UPSC asks these things also, so don't take these things lightly. Festival smash the following is also a question which you have to learn. So whatever you see here, just go through this and tell me from which state you are. So today's editorial, again as I told, the other one was very important, around 5 articles I discussed, but today's 14th January editorial, if you see, it has everything which is either related to the COVID or the elections. So it becomes less important for UPSC discussion. So the first one, if you see, it's the PM security lapse which happened in Punjab, and already the state has blamed the center has blamed the state, and both of them have their own committees, and they are probing into it. But Supreme Court interfered and told like both those committees should be kept on hold. We will appoint a neutral committee, and it is headed by some Justice Indu Malhotra. Okay, so that committee will now look into it and then come to a conclusion like whose mistake it was, like whether the PM's route was not informed earlier, or something state purposely did not give the security. What is the issue that they will inquire into it? Okay, so there is a committee. So that is the only thing from this article. Next one, if you see, space for dreams, this is actually, K Shivan, the ISRO chairman. He has been now his term is over, and he's replaced by Somanathan. Okay, so that happened, and so a new era of space is there. And now more about privatization is being talked about, and there is a new Space India Limited, NSIL, and many new private related 2-3 bodies have been formed under ISRO itself. So that will be the new era, and we have this solar mission, Aditya mission is coming up, and again Chandrayaan's next phase is there. So various big new ventures are coming up. So Somnath will be in charge of the upcoming projects. That is what is written here. Now the next one, if you see, this is the one article we'll try to discuss today, because this is written in a little essay type format. So the heading itself is interesting: liberal economies creates illiberal societies. So if you had seen this year's essay paper, UPSC is asking this kind of thing only: real is rational, rational is real, or something which is like a little philosophical type statement. That is what they are giving. So liberal economies create illiberal society can be a potential essay or a GS question in future. So this we'll try to go through. Okay, there is no proper conclusion and all here, but we'll see what the author is trying to tell. Okay, then the next one, if you see, it's about the COVID testing. We have to improve the testing standards, and different types of testing are there. Like if you go to Dubai and other countries where now COVID cases have gone down very less, and still their tourism is flourishing because they have high level of testings going on. The airport also, they test everyone 2-3 times. Okay, immediate testing is there, the RT-PCR, the antigen testing, everything is going on. That is why it is very like kind of safe. So India also has to scale up the testing standards. That is what is being discussed here. Okay, so that for UPSC purpose, you don't have to know the entire detailing, but for your interest and maybe for your interview sake and all, you can read. But now we will not be discussing. Then this one is the elections. 5 states elections are coming up. So different states, what all promises they have made, what is the policies, how can it affect the national level politics, whether like BJP will be in power everywhere. So that kind of things are being discussed. It's not at all useful for us. Okay, next one, if you see, the Omicron cases is rising in rural areas also. Okay, because when Delta and all was there, it was more in the urban and semi-urban areas, but in the rural areas it was not too much. But here in rural areas also it is in the peak. Okay, maybe because of the festival seasons, and maybe because of the farmers protest, many reasons can be. So the rural things is going on. Okay, Omicron cases. Then here, if you see, it's about the online trawling. Okay, some app was there, and about that they are discussing. So it's a personal experience of a person who faced trawling. Okay, so again, if you see, none of these articles which is in yellow color is of no use for discussion. Okay, so that is why we have only one article to discuss. This also I could have ignored, but because it's a essay type thing and a little bit about capitalism, socialism is there, maybe some insights you will get into it. Okay, mains related it will be helpful, prelims it is not helpful. So we'll discuss that one article today. Okay, so please keep participating by giving your likes, comments and all. Only then we'll feel like making more and more new episodes. Here also, this is Japan Australia Security Pact, yesterday midnight I uploaded. Please go and watch it, so that you will know what is happening in the world. Okay, because geopolitics is the very like most important topic now when it comes to UPSC. Okay, because they are asking every country's relationship with each other in everything, in prelims also, mains also, interview also. So you have to know. Okay, because India is a major country in this world now, so everybody is interested in having some relationship with India. So we should know like already what other countries are having tie-ups with, and whether it is safe for India to go and join them or not. Okay, So again, all the lectures are completely free on YouTube. Please go through them. If you are new to this channel, WhatsApp me. I'll tell you how to start with. Okay, because first itself will give you a set of free foundational videos to know how to begin. Now, this article, liberal economics. So, if you see here, a surging tide of nationalism and authoritarianism is being there. Okay, if you see everywhere, okay, wherever countries, the new people who are coming to power, you will see like in USA, in India, in UK, European, everywhere we have seen a kind of nationalism kind of wave going on. Okay, when Trump was there, or now here, Prime Minister Modi is there. So, people are a little bit nationalistic in nature. Okay, so here if you see the benefits of the growth, they are telling that it is being going into the top 1% only. Okay, capitalism is being boosted too much, and the rich is getting richer, and the bottom people are not getting it. Okay, like trickle down effect, if you know, it is like the fund or the money should go from the higher level to the lower level, but it is not happening. It is diminished, is what the author is telling. Okay, so inequalities of wealth has increased around the world, and India is becoming one of the world's most unequal countries. Okay, so that is what is the statement. So if you see, like the COVID-19 virus we have, it is like scientists are struggling to understand how it started and all. Same like that, this whole economic situation, the author is telling it can be treated like a disease. Okay, where we don't know how it all started, and it's all completely crippling, and the nation for 30 years it is like that only. So symptoms of that kind of situation, he's telling like political symptoms, economic symptoms. So political means weakening of democracy and secularism. This is what the political symptoms you will see in such a environment, such a economy. Okay, then economic symptoms are inequities within economies and the unsustainability of economic growth. So this is what you will notice in that kind of environment. So the socio-political and economic pathologies are interrelated. Okay, so this is a very good statement. Economic despair is feeding the rise of authoritarianism, nationalism, and identity politics. Okay, so now here about the liberals, as we see in the heading. Liberals who continue to advocate for more liberal economics must understand how their ideas have caused the rise of anti-liberal societies and governments which they lament. So they are trying to push in a lot of liberal reforms in economics, but that is actually leading to anti-liberal societies and governments. That is what the author is trying to convey in this entire thing. Okay, they can no longer have their cake and eat it too. Okay, they cannot have that also, this also. Okay, so that is what we'll see how it's being told. So last many years, if you see, we have this ideology of opening national borders, do free trade with everyone. Okay, and then taxes of incomes and wealth are at the top, that is also reduced, because you should know, like there is a thing. Okay, there is a graph in economics which you should know. Tell me in comment section which graph it is. Okay, like the graph will be like this. Suppose it is like going like this, meaning one is tax rate and one is tax revenue. Okay, rate how much it is and revenue how much it is. So as and when the rate increases, people will keep giving, okay, taxes properly, but after a particular point, again if you increase the tax rate, then the tax will not come. People will start doing tax evasions, tax stealing and all these things, and then the tax revenue which the government gets will start declining. So what curve is this? Okay, there are a lot of curves, you know, like there is Laffer curve, there is Phillips curve, there is Lawrence curve. These are all economic terms which you have to study. So which thing am I talking about? What is this curve? Okay, tell me in comment section. So like that, so the top peoples, this thing has been reduced, because after a particular limit you cannot increase it. Okay, so rich are now being taxed much less than they were usually being done. Okay, and here if you see, governments are hamstrung without resources to provide public goods, meaning they are strained, they are not having much resources to give all the public goods. So what is the solution? Solution is privatization, which the government is doing. Okay, so they will sell off all the public enterprises, and it will be like auctioned, or part of it share will be given, something will be done, and the fund starved governments will get the fund so that they can give public goods to the people. Okay, then another justification of privatization is that private people can give more efficiently deliveries, and they will set aside ethical questions of equity, everything. They will look only profit, they will try to deliver things on time, so it will be more efficient system. Okay, so when public is converted to private, rich people can buy whatever they want. Okay, because the poor people, maybe if it's education or healthcare, everything they need in the subsidized rate or the free of cost thing in nearby locality, in the primary clinics and all. But the rich people doesn't mind if it goes to private, because they can afford everything. Okay, so they, for their higher, because of their higher income, anything becomes expensive also, whether it's healthcare or education, their children will get the best schools or best hospital, everything they'll get. Okay, so the children of wealthier people with better education have greater access to opportunities in the future also. So the gap between haves and have nots has become larger. Okay, so this kind of lines and all you can use while explaining a concept, then it will be good for you. Okay, I'm expecting this question to come in future. Okay, liberal economies and illiberal society. So please make a note of all these points. The same editorial, you can just print it there in your answer paper, you will get the marks. So now if you see, when this more and more privatization happens, people will start losing faith in the governments. Okay, So now they're telling about like the statement, if you see, history has not ended, history has repeated. Okay, this actually one person told during the time Soviet Union collapsed and all, when the communist model and all collapsed. So that time he told, okay, like if you see the idea of totalitarian government, where the government is like savior of the people, and everything, the public, the complete property is like public ownership. That is what communism. Okay, by abolishing all the private property, the system has failed. Okay, so now he's telling history has not ended, history has returned. Okay, in USA also, once upon a time, there was something called Washington Consensus and all, which is capitalist ideology. But now, when Trump was there, it was again capitalist. But later, after that, now Joe Biden has come. You should know in USA there are only two parties, okay, main ones, like there's Democratic and Republic. So now it's the Democrats. The Joe Biden has come back. So the people who have come, okay, here they have listed some people name and all. So they are all young Democrats, and so socialism or communism kind of thing has returned back to US politics. Okay, so this, as I told, this article is just explaining you what is happening in Indian politics, what is happening in world politics, capitalism versus socialism. So this is like a philosophical article. Okay, so now liberal economist. Okay, liberal economist, what they do? They will promote everything like free market, free trade, privatization. Okay, but at the same time, they are worried about nationalism and authoritarian government. Okay, they also go against, rail against populist policies, like when government is giving a lot of subsidies and something for the poor things and all, or giving government jobs and all these things, they will be actually opposing that kind of things, and they will have like, we should have more self-reliance, we should have more jobs, private jobs for citizens, atmanirbhar, all these things they will want. Okay, so liberals must actually re-examine their ideas of economics to understand their own culpability in creating authoritarian and identity politics. Okay, so they, whatever they are doing, they think that it's all going to make a liberal society, but actually it's making a illiberal society. Okay, so they have tried to tell it in two sentences, even though it is not too much clarified how it is and why it will happen like that, but they have tried to tell with two sentences. Okay, so you can expand it also with other examples if you feel. So now again, conclusion, they are telling about the two types of thing. This a proprietarian society, meaning the property ownership, meaning who have more ownership, more things, or more he owns, then he has greater say in the governance. Okay, so that is called a proprietarian society. Okay, other one, democratic society, which we want or we have, is like the human rights must prevail. Okay, so everyone, whether it's a billionaire or a poor person, everybody should have equal right to determine the rule of the game. Okay, so two types of societies there. So this democratic and capitalist principles are being reconciled with socialist ideas in Europe and USA after the World War, and in developing countries such as India after the collapse of colonialism. Okay, so wherever we have democracy, we have already always tried socialism. If you know, in the starting and all, we were more like ties up with Russia than USA. Okay, we were in a socialist communist kind of angle. We were giving weightage. Okay, in even a preamble, we added socialism. Okay, so the socialist era ended when the communism collapsed. Okay, so while communism had lifted living standards and the health and education of masses of poor people faster than capitalism could, the communism solution to the property question, that there should be no private property, was a failure. Okay, even though better than capitalism, they could reach more to the people and the living standards, education, masses, everything fine. But this abolishing of private property, that people did not accept it, because it is depriving people of the personal liberties. Okay, so the system was a failure. Now, capitalism solution to the property problem. Okay, capitalism solution to the property problem, replacing all publicly owned enterprise with privately owned ones, has not worked either. Meaning, to oppose the communism, when we brought capitalism where everything is private, okay, that, and including reducing taxes on the wealthy and high income people, that also was not accepted by the people much. Okay, it has denied many of their basic needs of health, education, social security, etc., and also the equal opportunities. Okay, like rich gets richer, poor gets poorer. So the private property solution also harmed the natural environment. When people are in this capitalism, their only thing is to increase the wealth. So to increase the wealth, they will use their natural resources and sustainability. Everything will come. Okay, it's not like they are caring about how the environment should work. So that also problem is there. So the ecological commons are harmed and social equity suffers. Okay, so if you see, communism and proprietarian capitalism carried too far have both failed. So climate change, all these things are happening now, right? So the capitalism model and all needs reforms. Okay, so economic policy must be based on new ideas. So here they are telling principles of human right must not be overpowered by property rights, and they are telling a new form of Gandhian democratic socialism powered by cooperative economic enterprises is required in the 21st century to create wealth at the bottom, not only at the top, and save humanity and the planet. This is the conclusion he is giving. Okay, meaning a Gandhian democratic socialism model should be there, but it should be powered by cooperative also is Gandhian ideology. It will come in our DPSP and our economic enterprises, meaning like a cooperative model, cooperative society. Okay, so that kind of meaning money earning also should be there, but it should be with the ground level. People should be all involved. Okay, not like the one group of people getting rich. Okay, 1% of people getting rich. So this is the overall idea of this article. Okay, so in 10-15 minutes I have explained what is it, and this is the only article I felt which should be worth discussing. Okay, so again, celebrate your festival, stay safe, stay indoor, and tell me which state you are from, so that we can just know, okay, where from our audience are regularly watching. Okay, and please subscribe to our channel and also save our number and WhatsApp me. Then daily you will get video updates in the WhatsApp itself. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day.